microphone aside because I'm a theater actor. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
I've never followed stand-ups in my life. I don't recommend it. It's intimidating and it's awful. I wouldn't have agreed to this if I had known. I didn't think they'd be funny. So it's a little bit of a bait and switch because I don't have, I don't know any pedophiles. I would really like to do this if I could. Thank you. This is a first for me. I've never been invited to do this, and I'm very honored and to be so welcome. Thank you for having me. I imagine that what you're most curious about is what it's like to be me. Get letters, you know, it's what people. I mean, it's just a wild guess. I thought, what would they want to know? What's it like? What's it like? God. To be me, a not at all famous, sometimes recognized actor. From a show that was on 10 years ago, because that's it's a big deal. And I love that I was on the Wire. I love the show. I'm a geek fan of it in addition to having been on it. It was a lot of fun. People still watch it. It's good.
Yeah.
I fished a little bit. You know, it's a funny category to be in, to be sort of in the middle. I'm certainly, as I say, not famous. I have reached that "who are you" phase. But, you know, people go. You know, they think a lot, and I think, you know, as people who've taken my class know, I'm very, very candid. Sometimes more than people are ready for. But you know, like a lot of actors, I don't have enormous self-esteem. A lot of us are, you know, come from horrific childhoods, and are on antidepressants, and so the way that I'm perceived doesn't really reflect. I feel like a little potato, you know, and I don't feel like a guy who's on TV at all. To me, it doesn't feel like that. That's it's so, and I had very low expectations for my life, which is something that I recommend in my class. Because everything's been a surprise. And this is really true. I thought this is probably nothing's going to happen for me as an actor. So now when my agent calls with a job, I'm like, you're kidding. One of the things that's interesting is I have to take, often have to take what I call the test. This is what happens to actors a lot, where this happens in all sincerity. Somebody comes up and they say, how do I know you? What have I seen you on? And I don't know what they've seen me on because I wasn't in their living room when they were I really don't know. And and New Yorkers, you know, I live in New York now, and New Yorkers are very demanding. They're like, no, you were in some, what did I see you in? You know, it becomes like, it's really like this. I actually was getting on a ferry with my wife, and a cop went, hey, come here. It was that conversation. Yeah. I know you. I'm like, no, you really don't. So I often have to take the test. And New Yorkers, I mean, one of the weird things about being an actor is everybody's an expert on being an actor. Everybody, you know. So even if they don't recognize me, like, oh, you're an actor, yeah, it's a tough job, yeah, it's crazy. I don't. Everybody's an expert. And they all feel that they are entitled to vet me. So whatever I name is something they haven't seen. It doesn't matter what it is. So sometimes they'll, you know, for a while I was like, oh, okay, I can play this card. The Wire. And they're like, no, what else? Kind of like, nice try. What else you got? But I like being recognized because it's still like I can't believe I got to a point in my career where some losers invited me to come here tonight. I say with love. Do you understand what I mean? Like I'm trying to. No. I'm trying to get you to imagine being me. Like, if you don't feel like you're just like a potato, you know. And people are like, hey, it's the famous Michael Kostroff. I'm like, okay. It's nice. I really I enjoy getting recognized. It's interesting to me that people always say, oh, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm like, wow, I'm not. It's so not a bother. It's so nice, and I would be very shy about walking up to people I recognize. So it means something to me that people do that. I think it's sort of brave, and there aren't a lot of jobs where strangers will walk up to you and say, hey, I like how you do what you do. It's really nice. There have been very few times that it was uncomfortable. It's been mostly, and again, I love New York because people are really cool about it. They're like, hey, I saw you, like good work on that show. Leave it alone, right? I've had two very strange encounters. One was at sorry, no offense, an Obama fundraiser.
Typical.
Yeah. By the way, I love that joke. You're so right that is the definition of a character actor. It's ugly people who still get to work. It's exactly right.
My jokes are funny because they're true.
So I was at an Obama fundraiser. This is what happens that people think is okay to do. This guy walked up to me and he goes like this. And he slaps my arm. I'm like, hi. And he goes, I'm like, okay, you're slapping my arm. What's going on? He goes, you defended those drug dealers. I said, look, that's my actual arm. That was a pretend thing, and here's you and me in a real thing where you're hitting me. I don't like it. So one more and our conversation's done, and he did, and that was the end of that. That was one weird one. And the other was, I think people they're usually surprised. I'm so receptive. I'm like, hey, let's talk. I met a guy on a train, and we started talking. I said, take a seat. Tell me about it, because he was a real cop. He wanted to tell me about that the wire was very real to him. That was really cool. But I'm in a diner in New York. It's New York. This is an important part of the story. And this guy comes sort of walking towards the table in a daze. This is already where a New Yorker starts to go, what the fuck is going on? It was sort of like this. And I'm like, yeah, what do you need? What do you need? And he goes, oh, you look like an actor. Okay, well, I'm having lunch. And again, normally, I swear I'm the guy who'd be like, hey, pull up a chair, can I get you some coffee? Somebody likes me. And he was really, it was very uncomfortable. He was like staring at me. I mean, it's New York, I don't know who the fuck you are. The guy goes online and says, wow, Michael Kostroff, what a fucking stuck-up asshole. Oh. Yeah, thank you. He's like, boy, that guy, he doesn't like his fans at all. What an ass. And I did what nobody else does. I go on and I engage. I do this. There was one Wire fan thing where a guy said, "Whoa, that Michael Kostroff, his career went nowhere. He's doing a commercial," and I'm like, "You don't know what that pays." I know that you would like me to be Maury Levy for the rest of your life, but it's not paying my bills. So, this is what we do. Commercials are good sport. Anyway, so this guy goes, well, Michael Kostroff, he doesn't, And I wrote and I said, okay, let me play it out from my perspective. Here's what happened. I'm in a New York diner and a guy comes wandering towards me with a daze and doesn't say he recognizes me or likes my work, but just goes, oh, you look like an eye. I said, that's fucking weird. I said, next time come up and tell me, hey, I like your work, or, I saw you on the wire, and you'll be surprised. And he went, oh, okay, well, I guess I was wrong about that. I'm going to tell you my two favorite recognition stories. First of all, my wife and I are walking down the street in New York, and it's just very New York. This guy just walks by, he goes, good actor, you. woman who works for Con Ed. It's the local energy company. Energy, is that? Yeah. Energy company, and she's in a little uniform, and she's like, "Hey, you're the lawyer from The Wire." I'm like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am." She's like, "I love that show." I said, "Thank you." She goes, "Are you really a lawyer?" I said, "No, I'm just, I'm an actor." And she goes, "Oh man, I really need a lawyer." And then sort of begrudgingly, "You get on the show." I don't know how much time that is, so I don't know if I should launch into like a more lengthy story. It's not as funny.
You're good.
Yes, good, yeah.
How much time do I have?
All of it.
Well, I mean, like, if it's not a funny story and it's more interesting, is that okay? Okay, and it begins very maudlin. So.
What's that?
Okay.
Okay.
Drink up. Sad. That's sad.
Oh, models! I like it. Yeah. Making secrets or something?
I didn't expect one of you. So I could never find love. Yeah, I told you, mother. It really was sort of like a gypsy curse. I've always been very romantic, and it eluded me like it was hilarious to everyone but me, because I was always that guy who was like the perfect boyfriend for somebody else. They're like, "Oh, you're so sweet. I'm looking for a bad guy." All that. So I lived through all that, and it was worse than whatever you're imagining right now. I was alone, and I never had the experience of loving somebody and being loved back. Sad. So, and I really wanted it, and it was making me really sad. And so what I did, because this is my counterintuitive approach to life, is I killed it. I killed the hope. I went. It's not going to happen. I'm making my peace with it. This is going to be my life, and that's that. Great friends. Maybe you don't get everything in life. One of my misfires had been this girl Jenny. I did a play at San Jose Rep. She was the house manager. I fell instantly in love with her, and we had this very sort of fucked up thing for 7 weeks, where one day she was like, kissing me in my car, and the next day she's like, "Well, I don't date actors." I'm like, "Oh," and I'm Charlie Brown. You just have to know that. So my reaction is, "Oh, okay, all right." And then the next day she's like, "Well, I heard you were going out with somebody else." I'm like, "So you're jealous, but you don't want to be with me?" It was really fucked up, and I was like crazy for her. It was making me crazy, and it was not even a thing, and it was 7 weeks, and it was so confusing and upsetting. And after those 7 weeks, I said, "Fuck you! Don't ever talk to me again." And I went home, and I was heartbroken. I really was, and I realized in retrospect that she was one of the 3 women I'd been in love with in my life. And I was like, "Well, great, typical. That happens because that's my life. I live under a gypsy curse. Fuck it." And a couple of years later, I couldn't stop thinking about her, and I sent her a letter. And I very sort of coldly told her, "Look, I don't want to die with the secret. I've only been in love with 3 women. You're one of them, and I just wanted you to know that. And I'm sure it doesn't mean anything to you, and that's that." And I never heard back from her, which is what I expected. And it's a sad story. It's not funny. I guess I was please laugh at my pain. It's all right. It was very bad. It was very bad. Very bad. 10 years later, I saw an email address in my email box that made my heart go like this. It was from Jenny. 10 years. 10 years. And she was now married with 2 children. And she had really kind of hurt me and fucked me up, so I was like, "Why are you writing to me? What do you want? What's going on?" And do we have a child? Something I should know about? And she said, "Well, I saw you on The West Wing. I was doing the laundry. I dropped the laundry. I went, 'That's Michael.' And she said, and I Googled you and found out you wrote a book." Oh, that's a plug. I wrote a book. Letters from Backstage. And there was an email address on the back of it. She said, and I just wanted to reach out because that was a long time ago and we owe each other some apologies. I was like, wow, okay. You really want to be friends now? I want to know what happened. And it turned out she was just as crazy about me as I had been about her. We missed it because we had such horrible self-esteem that we thought the other person was fucking with us. So I was like, she's teasing me, and she was like, he's teasing me, and it was like this weird game. The letter that I had written, telling her that I loved her, arrived 2 days before her wedding to Luke. It was a good story, right? She literally took herself on a walk, because she was like, fuck. And she came to a literal fork in the road. And she thought, I barely know Michael. I knew him for 7 weeks. I don't know what this is about. Now he loves me. I don't know what the hell. And I've got this. And she went through with the wedding and sensibly didn't write back to me, which is why I never heard back from her, right? So, great. Okay. We're now becoming friends. We became really good friends. We started writing back and forth to each other. We became really supportive friends. And I mean, really supportive. It was nice. She would like encourage me. My acting career is hard, and she started like sending me flowers for my opening nights. And I'm like, oh God, you're killing me. And this happened back and forth for a while. And you know, she said, I'd love to come see you. I said, you know, you can't. I said, you can't, because we're grown-ups and we're smart and we know that we're curious about what would have happened, and we're not stirring that pot, and I'm a lonely single person, and we're not doing that, you know. But it was getting complicated. She started to tell me that she was having dreams about running away with me. I said, don't tell me, I don't want to know. And a couple of years later, Luke didn't want to be married to Jenny anymore. It sort of ran its course. In retrospect, they say that they were better off as friends. And Jenny says, well, you're doing a play, I'd like to come see you. And I was like, you can't. Oh shit, yes you can. And the next stretch of time was really a panic. She said, look, I have plans to go with my friends to Amsterdam. I don't know what that was about. She said, but I'm going to cut it short and come see you in LA. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen, right. I know my luck, that's not going to happen. Besides, I don't know this woman, it's been 13 years now, what the fuck? I'm not nervous about that. Because whatever. And so I had my apartment painted, and I really did. I'm like, where are you staying? She says, with you. I'm like, okay. I don't really know what that means exactly. I know what it means to men, but I don't know what it means to women. And so she was trying to visit me, and I'm like, okay, it's not going to happen, and whatever. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I've been down the road before, whatever. And she had always sent me opening night flowers. So she was coming to my opening night, and the show's about to start, no flowers from Jenny. I'm like, right, fine, she's not here, coming from Amsterdam, whatever. And so I did my show, and there was a party out. This is not boring, is it? You're with me?
No.
So she's
yeah, stop.
Yeah. Nothing else happened after that.
Anyway, she's dead. Sorry.
We saw each other and went, That's really a stupid time to ask that. I got really into my own life for a minute. After the show, there was a party right out in the courtyard, and I'm out there, stuffing my face and having people tell me how good I was in the show. And I look across the courtyard, and there's Jenny after 13 years. And in Ratatouille where the guy tastes the food. Slow motion. It was that. It was like I was sinking on the Titanic, and that was the ship. It was just like, oh my God. And I said, you came? She says, yeah, I came to see you. And the chemistry was like just all there like it was. And I'm going to share something very personal. You'll just have to deal with it. We went home and we slept. It was like everything was right in the universe. We fell asleep together, and it was the first time we had ever done that, and spent the whole night just next to each other in bed. And so we spent a few days together. She hung out with me. She followed me around to my auditions. It was very sweet. And at the end of the week, she was going to go home, and because I'm pessimistic, well, not pessimistic, maybe just brutally realistic. I thought, well, she lives in Idaho. She and her husband have moved to Idaho. They've got kids. I live in LA. I'm an actor. Obviously, this is gonna be one of those things where we pine away, and once in a while we see each other, and that's nice. So it's Saturday night. She's about to leave, and the next day, and she's sitting on my couch crying. And I said, "Well, this is so corny. You just have to forgive her." So I said, "What's the matter?" and she said 3 words I had never heard from somebody I loved. She said, "I love you," and I couldn't breathe. Like I stopped breathing. I just stopped breathing. And she said, "It sucks because I found the person I want to spend my life with, and now we're well." I think her plans started to roll into place at that point because she sort of wasn't accepting the circumstances as the kiss of death. So she goes, but that's the, I didn't fart. So we start to carry on this long distance thing, and I was right about when I was going to move back to New York. Well, because I'm now further away from her. Everybody thinks I live in the middle of the country. It's actually on the West Coast. Thank you. Extra credit for you. So because no, people never know that.
It's not on the West Coast, but it's in the West.
All right. Come on. All right, rookie leagues. So I moved to New York. We're doing this long distance thing. It's hard. It's very hard. She's gone from having a house full of, a husband and 2 kids, and now he doesn't live there, and sometimes they don't, and it's hard. And right away I moved to New York. I get the tour of Les Miserables, and I'm off on the road, and she's visiting me in different places, and it's very romantic. She had started right away talking about getting married. I'm like, wait a minute, hang on. We just found each other. I've gone my whole life without a relationship. I'm enjoying the appetizer. Just please, don't show me dessert. And she was like, I said, no, I'm serious. Please don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Shh. And she stopped talking about marriage because we've just known each other again a couple of months. So I'm out on the road with Les Mis, and I start to think, well, hypothetically, if I were to buy Jenny a ring, this would be very challenging because Jenny she's not like any other woman I know. She doesn't like shiny, she doesn't like sparkly, she's never worn a stitch of makeup. She doesn't like, the jewelry that she likes looks like it was hammered in a village in Africa, or something like that. And she doesn't not like shiny. She once told me, if you ever buy me a diamond, I will know that you don't know me. And so I thought, well, I'm not gonna propose, but I might start just in case, because that's gonna be a long process of shopping. Just full of shit. So it turned out that several of the girls in Les Mis had worked in jewelry, and they directed me to some sites where we found some interesting things, and I'm flicking through. Most of the rings that Jenny would love were about $40. And there was this one that I kept coming back to, but it had a raw diamond in them and all. I'm like, she said no diamonds, and I kept going back to it because it sort of looked like something she would like. It was all like fucked up and dented and oxidized and beat up, and a raw diamond is dull. And I was like, I don't know. And I finally thought, well, I can't imagine a universe in which I'm not marrying Jenny. So I ordered the ring, and it came, and I called the woman and I said, it's shiny. It's not like I thought it was in the picture. I could never give this to Jenny. She would hate it. It's shiny, the silver part. It's shiny. And I'm taking enough of a risk with the raw diamond. And she said, well, what did you want? I said, like something from an archaeological dig. And she said, she called me 2 days later. She said, I spoke to the designer, and he wants to make this Jenny's ring. Send it back. Isn't this so nice? He said, send it back. And they fucked the shit out of me. I think they rolled over it with a car. And they sent back this work of art. I wish I could show you all the pictures. It's so neat. And I'm like, okay, shit. And by now I'm like, I'm gonna marry Jenny. So we're in LA, and I took her to the Huntington Gardens. Now remember, by now she has closed that subject forever, because I said, don't talk to me about this, right? So we're walking around the Huntington Gardens, which is, it's just, has anyone ever been? No? Okay. It's just sprawling, and there's a Japanese garden, and there's all these different gardens and sub-gardens, a rose garden. It's beautiful. And she's saying, oh, look, honey, it says here, this is it. I'm looking for someplace that's private. She's like, oh, it's this kind of, that's very nice, sweet. And she's telling me all the different flowers. I'm like, I don't give a shit. And then I find this tree. I learned later it's called a Montezuma cypress, because the branches go out and touch the ground, so it's like a room. And I pulled her in there, And I started crying. She said, honey, what's wrong? I said, I want us to be together forever. She goes, don't worry, we will be. I said, and I want us to get married. She goes, well, I'm sure we will someday. I said, I'm asking you. And she went, oh. And I pulled out the ring and I put it, and she's like, oh. She's freaking out. And I said, do you like the ring? She said, yes. I said, you didn't look at it. She goes, it's great. I said, you know what that is in the middle? She goes, I don't care. I said, it's a raw diamond. And she goes, I always wanted a